Phoenix, welcome.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to speak with. We're kind of, doing some of the same work here today, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about this. So you and your dad have been going all over the place, interviewing all sorts of people. What's it all about? Tell me. You don't seem to be the typical interviewer that I'm seeing out there.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'd say I'm a little shorter, but...
How old are you?
11.
11. And how is it that you ended up interviewing all these famous people at CPAC?
I guess basically just going up and asking, so...
But there's something that made you want to come here specifically, right?
Yes, sir. This is actually my third CPAC, so...
This is your third CPAC. You've been to more CPACs than I've been to. Wait a sec. You were at CPAC when you were 8 years old?
9.
9. Were you interviewing people?
I was. Yes,
when
sir.
you were 9?
Yes, sir. That's why I started, so...
Fascinating. So, and I think our viewers are not going to be almost ready to accept that a 9-year-old guy just decided to come to CPAC and start interviewing people. So how did that start?
Well, how did I start doing interviewing, or
Yeah.
specifically at CPAC?
Well, let's start with how you just started doing interviewing.
Well, I started getting into politics during the primaries for the general election.
2016, we're talking?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's how I really got into it. I liked watching the debates. It was extremely interesting. So it worked out great because me and my dad had just moved out of our apartment. So I convinced him to, travel the country, get an RV for a month. That month turns into, till president gets inaugurated, because I thought our country was divided. And after midterms, I am here today.
Fascinating. So you've been roaming America in an RV since then?
Yes, sir.
With a microphone?
Pretty much.
And a very committed and supportive dad, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's been very supportive. He doesn't even like politics, so that's almost what makes it even better. His commitment. This will probably be my last CPAC. Because, he spent so much on it. He's given up pretty much everything. If, we can't figure out a way to help, support what we're doing, it's probably going to be my last. But I've enjoyed it over the few years, and it's been awesome.
No, it sounds like incredible work. I can imagine all sorts of scenarios where you guys could, support your work. Like perhaps do you have a YouTube channel?
I do, yes, sir.
And how is that? Is that monetizing for you at all?
No, sir. We do not really know technology or anything.
I see. You need some technical support. All right. Well, maybe there's some viewers out there right now who are getting interested, hopefully, right? Crowdsourcing. Have you tried any crowdsourcing?
Honestly, I don't even know what that is.
So crowdsourcing is this kind of thing where there's a platform that basically you can say, I've got this very cool thing that I do, right? And what is it that's special, aside from the fact that you're a little younger from the typical interviewer? What is it that makes your interviews special?
Well, I always do my best to take almost no opinion. I stay in the middle when I'm doing my interviews. Let's say that's my opinion, at least. So I do my best at that. My mission is to actually help unite our country because we're so divided. I think that's kind of my mission on that.
So do you go to conservative events like CPAC, and you also go to more liberal events?
Yes, sir. They don't have an LPAC yet. They should. But I cover a lot of marches, protests, just where people go out to express their opinions and say, hey, this needs to change. So I do my best to get both sides.
Fascinating. So who was your biggest interview while you're here?
At CPAC this year, that's extremely tough. I did get Tom Fitton, a judicial watch, so that was probably my biggest.
Very good.
So,
yeah, so what is it, what did you learn from Tom? Do you remember?
Well, we figured out a little bit about the Cohen hearings. We got some opinion from him on that.
Okay.
But if you really want to look, I'd say look at it if you want to really know.
Well, what I found really interesting and frankly a little bit disturbing was that these Cohen hearings happened to be on the very same day that the president was doing some extremely delicate negotiations in Vietnam with a certain dictator with nuclear weapons.
Right, well, this did go on while he was in Hanoi.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of controversy in that, especially with Republicans and conservatives. I think I was just trying to distract from, success. But, I think a lot of people have the opinion on that.
So you're seeing that yourself?
Well, I'm seeing the opinions of others, I'll put it that way.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm very impressed with what you're doing. I sincerely hope that there are more young folks like it yourself who are both interested in uniting the country, which is very extremely important, and interested in collecting impartial opinions. And I also hope that maybe through our program you may be able to find a few folks who want to give you a little help.
Thank you.
So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.